Population interactions. So there are 5 types of population interactions which we study: predation, competition, parasitism, commensalism, and mutualism. So mutualism is one of the relationship between two organisms of different species, where both the species or both the organisms are benefited each other. So that means there is a kind of mutual help. So that means in generally we can say it is helping each other. So one helps the other organism in one way, the other organism also helps its partner in another way. So the benefit may not be the same benefit which it has received. In another form the benefit may be given. So mutualism means here there is no harm at all. So the relationship is between the two organisms is such a there is no harm and both are benefited according to their own. So the benefit, the magnitude of benefit, we cannot explain that, because what benefit is necessary, that is given to that organism, whether it is less or more. So here that does not taken into account. So both are benefited with each other, and that relationship is such a way that they cannot live separately. That means one is depending on the other completely, and that is a kind of relationship between the two. So there are various examples which we can mention. So for example, lichens. So lichens, they are one kind of organisms which the body is made up of algae and fungi, and here the algae phycobiont, the fungi mycobiont. So they live together and has mutual help between each other. So the algae conducts photosynthesis and synthesizes food and provides food to the fungi. The fungi in turn, it absorbs water and minerals and provide it to the algae for the photosynthesis. So that is a kind of mutual help in the lichens, where we can see the relationship. Then mycorrhizae. So mycorrhizae is also an example of mutualism. Mycorrhizae means where the certain species of fungi or a fungus, it remains in the roots of some higher plants. For example, in Pinus, a gymnosperm, where we find a fungus which is called as glomus or many other fungi. So this fungi, when it is present, it is not a parasite. It helps in the absorption of specific minerals from the soil and also water. So overall the fungus will help in absorption of minerals and water and provides to the roots of that, and whereas the host, that means which we cannot say host actually. So the this higher plant, for example the gymnosperm or the Pinus, so it provides food and shelter to that fungus. So that is one kind of relationship. Then plants, they undergo pollination. So the insects visit the plants. So they are the pollinators. So here the relationship between the pollinator, that is the insects, and the plant, it is mutualism. So the plants provide pollen for their feeding, and also they provide honey or nectar to the insect, and that is for nutrition. And here when the insect like honeybees or any other insect, it visits the flower, so there it conducts pollination. So when it visits one flower, it carries the pollen grain, and when it visits another flower, it carries the pollen grain to that flower. So it helps in pollination. So that is also another relationship. Then in fig plant, fruit. So here in the fig inflorescence actually, here there are male and female flowers. So there is a wasp which is called as a blastophaga. So this wasp, it enters into the fig inflorescence and lays eggs in some of the female flowers. And when it is moving to the female flowers, so there it will carry the pollen grains and bring about pollination. So that is seen in the case of fig. And in leguminous plants, commonly we know that there is root nodules. The root nodules contain rhizobium. This is also an example of mutualism. So the rhizobium helps in nitrogen fixation and provides nitrogen in the form of nitrate, and the leguminous plant provides food and shelter to the rhizobium bacteria. So like that we can mention various examples. So the Egyptian plover bird and the crocodile, so that also there is mutual relationship between the two organisms. Like that we come across various examples. So next, sexual deceit, which is also considered as mutualism, but when we strictly observe the process, it is not mutualism, but generally it is an example of mutualism. So in a orchid, a Mediterranean orchid called as Ophrys, what happens, the flower which is having petals, one of the petal of that flower is largest, and one petal of the flower is large, and it resembles the female bee in its color, size and wings. Means when we see that petal of the flower, it is mistaken as a female bee of a species actually called as the Trichoceros. Now this flower is attracted by the male bee. So the male bee thinking that it is the female bee, but actually it is not the female bee, it is the orchid flower. So there it undergoes copulation, which is called as the pseudocopulation. So this it pseudocopulates the flower, and then it will take the pollen. So the pollen is dusted on that body of the male insect, and then when it visits another flower, so there it will carry the pollen grain, and the pollen are transferred, and thus the pollination is brought about in that flower. So that is called as sexual deceit, which is also an example of mutualism. Then so that is about mutualism. Then lastly, there is one small aspect in this population interaction separately studied as amensalism. So amensalism is also a kind of population interaction, but it is very rare. It is not commonly seen. Here also it is a relationship between the organisms of different species. So where the relationship where one organism is destroyed or completely suppressed, or its development is inhibited, where the other organism is unaffected. So unaffected, that means it is not harmed at all. So that is the relationship between these two. So that is amensalism. For example, Penicillium fungus, which grows in a particular medium, so it secretes the antibiotic chemical, that is penicillin, what we call it as. Now this penicillin, it kills bacteria. So that means Penicillium fungus naturally, as usually, it will produce that chemical which we use it as the antibiotic. Then that antibiotic, it kills bacteria. That means bacteria is destroyed, bacteria is killed, inhibited, the growth is prevented completely, whereas the Penicillium fungus is unaffected. So by the killing of that bacteria or by the secretion of this chemical, this Penicillium fungus is not affected. Similarly, another example, if you take, there is a plant called as black walnut. Now the roots of this plant, it secretes a toxic called as juglone. So that juglone, it will inhibit the other plants. It is toxic. So when that walnut is growing in that area, So the other plants are not allowed to grow there. So that means they are inhibited, they are destroyed by the toxic of that plant. That is called as juglone. Like that, there are many other plants like this. For example, Convolvulus arvensis, which is a plant, when it is grown, it inhibits the growth of wheat plant. So that means it is a weed actually. It does not allow the growth of the wheat plant, and like that. So one organism is destroyed and the other organism is unaffected. So these are the types of the population interactions which we come across in the living organisms. Thank you.